strides to my chagrin. Only the need to ask again. Clench my teeth as I pretend that
Today's episode is brought to you by StrongHeartAcademy.com and BJJ2Go. BJJ2Go.com. Check it out if you want to build a game. Awesome online training. Our guest today is Happy Rolling BJJ. So check them out on Instagram and YouTube. Hilarious if you're training in jiu-jitsu, and the videos are just so funny. So subscribe to them. Hit them up on Instagram. Thank you. All right. I think we are working. Can you hear stuff?
I can hear stuff.
Okay, so you are Tony, and you are a meme maker, and you are a dreamer of dreams, and you have a cool haircut.
Oh, thank you.
I'm jealous because I can't have any cool haircut. I can do wigs, though.
Oh, wigs are good, too.
My wife had a whole collection for a while. It was pretty sweet. But I think I lost them all.
Yeah, my hairstyle is like a mix between getting electrocuted and like a low-budget anime character.
One the animation was made in like a weird country like Vietnam instead of Japan. They're like, well, we couldn't afford Japanese animators, but we got Vietnam and they're all right.
Written in Japan and outsourced to Vietnam.
For sure. What was I going to ask you? Anyway, why did you decide to do memes?
Memes?
Meme maker.
I don't know, a little bit of loneliness.
That's cool.
No, with memes, the first time I saw a meme was on Facebook back in like 2009, and I remember it took me a long time to figure out what the hell it was. Like, what am I staring at? It was literally a picture with caption.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's a joke. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, these are funny. Do they have more of these? And there was more of them. And then especially, that was like 10 years ago. Memes have evolved over time. Like, the comedy has evolved.
Some
and
of them are strange.
they're strange. Like,
I follow some meme pages that I'm not sure if I'm like special needs and I don't understand what's going on, but this is very strange.
It's definitely an acquired taste.
Like, I think some of the memes make memes for other meme makers,
yes,
for inside jokes,
yes,
that literally no one understands but the
yeah,
other 14 meme makers that are making all the memes for everybody.
It's kind of like a long, ongoing soap opera. Like, it's, I don't know, let's say it's a soap opera that's been going on for like 40 years, and then all of a sudden a new episode, it reveals a character that from like season 1, and you're on season 43, and you're like,
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't get that. But yeah, especially with memes, like, if you've been in the game a long time, you should, I don't know the storyline behind the meme or the content.
I saw one the other day. It was like weird existential. I'm like, this is like weird art that I don't understand. Like, modernist art. Like, I don't get the joke at all. But
what was it? Was it like 10 Planet stuff?
No. I'm not even talking about jiu-jitsu memes. You're in a whole nother category, son. Like,
well, yeah, but I stare at memes
Happy,
like all day long.
Okay, do you want to say what?
Plug my memes? Plug myself?
Yeah, for sure.
Happy Rolling BJJ memes.
Yeah, Happy Rolling, yeah.
Yeah.
And how many BJJ memes do you think, meme makers do you think there are? Or how many do you follow, I should say?
Like, just meme makers?
Guess amazing. Of jiu-jitsu ones.
Oh, of jiu-jitsu ones?
Yeah.
Probably like 25.
Oh my gosh, that's way more than I had. I follow like 5 maybe.
Do you follow me?
Yeah, of course, man.
Yes.
Of course. You don't see all my likes? My hearts?
Yeah, you have the mullet profile pic on Instagram, right?
I
You have the
no,
Big Trouble in Little China.
Yeah. No, I've never changed my Instagram profile ever. I've only kept one. My Facebook I change almost every other day, but Instagram I just keep the same one. This is me and my wife.
It was a Halloween?
Is a Halloween. Yeah.
Oh, okay. It would be weird if it wasn't Halloween.
For sure. But I had that shirt that he wears.
Yeah.
And then I had a knife. I couldn't find a Mac 10 anywhere that wasn't an actual Mac 10. So I'm like, probably should go to a party with Mac 10.
Right.
I had to like
a water gun?
Yeah, I get
Nerf
a water
gun.
gun. But That was my favorite Halloween outfit I've ever worn. And then my wife made like it's not even on the poster here, but when she has like the Asian with green eyes. I don't know if you know the movie.
Yeah,
or not. Yeah. And then she has like the white face and the like lip makeup on, and then she had like this weird headdress.
Weird geisha.
Yeah. So my wife made it, and it looked great. Like it looked perfect. And anyone that knew what we were, but if you didn't know the movie, then I probably didn't want to talk to you. Anyway,
is she a fan of the movie?
Oh yeah.
Oh okay.
Yeah. She loves the movie too. Like it's probably one of my top 5 movies of all time.
It is definitely a classic.
Movie. And when I try to explain it to people, they're like, "Wait, what?" I'm like, "So there's this truck driver, but then he goes into like Chinatown, and then there's this guy like Raiden, who they actually got the real Raiden from. They actually stole Raiden idea from.
They totally stole.
Like what?" It's not easy to explain.
It's like one of those weird memes.
It's like a weird meme.
It literally is a moving meme with sound.
Who do you think, other than yourself? Obviously, you're the top jiu-jitsu meme maker, but who do you think like is another one that you really like? That you're like, oh man, this guy's hilarious.
This guy named Drew. He's from Canada. He runs a page called Because Jiu-Jitsu.
Because Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, he's like the most popular guy, obviously.
Oh, I don't.
Yeah.
Again, I follow like 5 guys, and they're all pretty much funny to me. Like I don't really have a top. I mean, I have Happy Rolling, of course.
Yeah. You gotta follow that guy. He's pretty much like the Simpsons of BJJ memes. Like, he already did that. He did that in season 3. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes the memes. I was showing. So my buddy was here yesterday, and he's an actor. And he's into cameras and stuff. He was helping me with the podcast. He has his own podcast too.
Okay.
And I showed him your video yesterday. You were showing me before we started the
Oh
podcast.
yeah.
And I said, like you kind of don't understand this because you don't do jiu-jitsu, but it's still you can appreciate this video. Mm-hmm. And he's like, he thought it was still funny. Yeah. Even though he didn't understand like people stealing your tape and stuff.
Oh yeah.
So like so much of you have to be in jiu-jitsu to get
part of the culture.
To get the culture of why it's funny. But some of the memes is like, oh, that's true, but it's not funny. Like I hear a meme, I'm like, oh, this is very accurate, almost cold accurate that nobody wants to talk about. Yeah. Like, oh, that's the brutal truth of injuries and stuff like that, but not funny. So I think I see how it could be hard.
It gets
to be
hard.
Funny. And true, and like that's super talented, man. That's some serious creativity, because anyone can go talk about arm bars. Like, how is it funny?
It's honestly like
relatable.
The creativity behind the memes, like obviously it's a picture with someone putting a punchline that they probably made in like 10 seconds on their phone. Yeah. Or they spent a couple days on it trying to word it just right.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, it's obviously the delivery. You'll see the same kind of meme formula. Like, well, let's stick to BJJ memes. Like, the classic one, it's always like the stock image of some guy like, and it's like when you have to roll with stinky gi guy. It's like, but then if someone else like took a different approach to it, I don't know, use some current event or a movie trailer that released. I don't know, let's say take a clip from It Chapter 2 and use that screenshot, which is kind of going around. Then maybe it's a little funnier how you word it. Yeah.
I just feel like that's got to be challenging. I think, the classic saying is like a picture is 1,000 words, right? Yes. But then you have a meme and you actually put words on it. And now, like, I feel like now you're at 10,000 words.
Yeah.
And obviously, good quotes are many times good quotes of somebody are short. Mm-hmm. When a good quote is like one line. Yeah. Like people have had long speeches, but nobody quotes the full speech, but a good quote, good line is like very true, and you like feel it right away. I feel, and it makes sense. And I feel like that with memes, like you can't fill the whole page with words, that you won't see the picture. Yeah. And then people kind of have to get it, I think, instantly, and like it has to like resonate with them instantly. And I've messed around with them, but I'm like, I don't think I got this in me, man. I think I'm clever and kind of witty, but I feel like this is another level. Yeah. Where I got to think differently, or I'm too impatient. Like, I feel like, I don't know if this is, do you do memes and then you like you don't put it out yet. Like you make one and then you come back and like get the words right and like it's not ready yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm working on it. Yeah.
It really depends on my mood that day or my creativity. Even just like making the meme, like captioning it, like sometimes it'll turn out to be like 5 paragraphs long, and I'm like, it's really hard sometimes to get the words right, get it out of my head, and I'm like, it's really too long, and then I'll come back to it maybe a couple days later, a couple hours later. One time it was a couple years later, and I'm like, oh, I got it, boom, and it does really good.
So I would have lost. So a couple years, I would have lost the meme. I would have like, where did I put this thing out? Like,
yeah, like I have like 12,000 images
folders.
on my phone.
Oh yeah. Just scrolling.
But sometimes
I'll
when
find
I'm like,
it.
yeah,
I'll
I'm
find
like,
it.
oh, I gotta, delete some images from my phone. I'm going through it. I'm like, oh, I remember that. Huh. All right, I got it. Now I got it. Now I'm ready.
Do you ever write something that you think that's clever, and then find the image later for the clever line for it, or like, so do you put it like your notes or something on your phone, and then come back later and go, oh, I found the perfect picture that makes sense to it? Yeah,
definitely. I always think of a clever line or a funny scenario, and I'll just save it on my notes, and then later if I come across that image, or even sometimes where I have to create that image myself, which I've started as the image of my own memes a few times. I don't know if you know the one, like the classic BJJ thing is after training in a hard class, you put your gi on the mat and take a picture of it all sweaty.
Oh yeah.
It's
the belt
cool. Yeah, put your belt on it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that's
you
the
gotta
way
line the belts up so they know what color and how many stripes you have on the belt. It has to see the stripes, but it has to look natural.
It has to look natural, but they spend like 20 minutes trying to
Yeah.
line the belt and the gi, and you're like, oh yeah, put the right hashtags, and like, I'm not gonna lie. At my gym, I walk around a lot in my underwear after class. Let's clarify that.
After class, yeah.
After class, because during class that'd be weird.
So I had a 6-year-old guy used to train with me, and he tried to do that in whitey tighties, and
A 6-year-old?
60-year-old.
Oh, 60-year-old.
60.
Okay, 60.
Yes. Yeah. And we had to say no more doing that, guys. And there's like ladies here, and there's kids, and like this isn't the 40s where it was totally fine to just take your clothes off, or like, it's kind of like when you go to LA Fitness, you go in the locker room, and the dudes are like this, and they're blow drying their balls, and you're like, what are you doing?
It must have been
what century was that cool in?
That was must have been the culture back then in the locker room, just walk around naked. Because I think there was an unspoken rule at the gym locker room. It's the more older you are, the more naked you have to get.
For sure, I think that's what it is. But I had to like, dude, no, sorry, buddy, you can't. You got to keep your clothes on. Like, go to the bathroom and change. We have 2 bathrooms, so yeah, for sure. I don't walk around in my underwear. I'm even getting weirder about like trying to keep my shirt on even in class, because I used to just never have a shirt on. But
that's
like,
normal though.
Is this? I feel like it's normal, but I don't know.
It's normal.
I think it is, but I feel moms are weird sometimes, and
they gotta get used to the culture.
Well, this is
don't cater to them.
This is true. That's like Baja. Like that's what they have undershirts. They have their like. Also it helps them sell rash guards, but other reason is they not showing off your body or whatever.
But you can't even compete.
You can't compete exactly. So I don't know, man.
And that's another thing too. The rash guards, like, if you have to wear a mandatory team rash guard, why does that have to be mandatory if it's gonna be under the gi and no one can see it?
Yep.
That reminds me of gi guys too, when they're like spending a bunch of money on fancy like octopus rash guards, but they don't train no gi, so it just stays under their gi jacket the whole time.
I feel personally attacked.
That whole statement was like personal.
I feel really.
Is that something you do when like BJJ HQ sells like a nice rash guard and you're like, that looks so sick under my gi?
No, man, I make my own. I make my own rash guards. We have our own rash guards, but for the mandatory stuff, like I thought about it, and now I understand saying you got to compete in our gi.
Yeah.
But in the gym, man, like you should just, one of the cool things when I first started jiu-jitsu was that I felt it was so freeing. Like we kind of have your own style, like style of jiu-jitsu, and like your own gi and whatever color, whatever. Like we used to mix match tops and bottom. We didn't care.
Have you trained traditional martial arts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you come from a karate background or
I've
Taekwondo?
done Taekwondo before. Yeah, and karate, but both. But
that's one of the things that kind of I was attracted to at BJJ is how much customization and freedom there was.
Yeah.
Like just people coming in their own different gi brands or different gi colors or mix matching, and like karate is
not like that. Everyone's the same.
Everyone's the same.
Yeah.
Military. Don't change the
That's
move.
the martial of the martial arts. But I felt like, jiu-jitsu is so results oriented. Like, can you submit a guy or can you not submit a guy? And really, that's really all that's important. As far as like what are we. The nuts and bolts of jiu-jitsu, right?
Yes.
Like I'm trying to submit someone and not just win, but be able to submit and defend myself. Now, the beauty of jiu-jitsu is all the extra things you get out of it, like relief of anxiety and stress and friendships and, just getting in shape, working out. There's a ton of things that you get out of it. But like at the end of the day, is it real? Like, can you defend yourself or can you not defend yourself? So I felt like when you make everyone be the same, like you're taking away from like what's really important. Like I don't care if like at the end of the day, if you wear a pink polka dotted gi and you tap me, you still tap me. It doesn't matter what you're wearing, as long as it's obviously legal. You're not like doing some cheater gi or that's like up to here, like it looks like a kid's gi, like
the old school karate
the
gis,
old school, or even the old
shrunken.
racing gis. You watch them, like the judo gis are like up to here, But I don't know.
That's not cheating. That's invisible jiu-jitsu.
This is invisible.
Like me, I order like the smallest gi size possible. That way people can't grab cloth. They grab cloth and try to sweep me. I just blame that they're grabbing the skin.
Yeah,
you're grabbing the skin,
why
man.
Why am I pinching your arms? It's because you're so buff. That's why I had to pinch your arms. There's no room in there.
My gi pants are like skinny jeans.
Yeah. I've even changed my grips on gis now. I used to do like a pistol grip, where you wad it up.
Yeah.
But it's so much harder to do because everyone's more tapered. The sleeves are way more tapered.
Yeah,
than they used to
definitely.
be. They've changed the way gis are made.
They changed the designs.
And what's legal because they do measure that, but it's still like.
Yeah, they shove that measuring device up in your sleeve.
Yep.
It really depends on the official that's doing that too.
True. Yeah. I've seen some are so strict. I'm like, oh, you're power hungry. you got a tool and some authority.
Yeah. Remember that incident with NABJJF a couple years ago with the gis?
Oh, that was bad too, man.
I was in the bullpen, and then they called my division up.
Well, let's explain first of all what happened.
Sense.
So they were basically disqualifying people and then putting the merch.
Oh yeah, the conveniently placed
right next to it. So, you can buy a gi here. Your gi's not legal, but this one is our NABJJ gi.
Contract killer and what's it? Breakpoint.
It's
like right next to the bullpen in the gi check-in spot.
It was shady, super shady.
Definitely. And I remember I went to the official and she's checking my gi and she's like, your gi's not legal. I think she said it was too big, and I was like, what? And then she said it was the brand. She's like, you can't wear Moya brand here. And I was like,
what?
And I literally pointed to the other athletes like warming up, and I was like, all those people are wearing Moya brand. And I was like, this is the biggest gi I can afford, and trying to get on her good side and laugh. And she like chuckles and then like puts a little fist bump. She's like, all right, just go. And I was like, what just happened?
And then standard.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden the next day there was that article about that organization taking advantage of people, especially parents, making them buy merch because the parents will pay for it.
For sure, but you have to think, people don't realize, with kids, some of these families, and I have kids in my gym, they have 4 kids. So they pay for 4 entry fees. Oh yeah. And then you say that their gis are no good, so now you want them to buy these gis too.
The gi they're gonna grow out of in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's just a.
It's a lot of money behind jiu-jitsu.
You're fleecing people. I don't want. I want to be honest, man.
Be honest.
And again, I've made my own gis, and it's one of the prouder things I've ever done in jiu-jitsu. I made my own gi, and I got it
from Pakistan.
For sure, everybody's made in Pakistan. There's only 3 places: America, Pakistan, and China. China gis are pretty terrible.
I was gonna say.
And most people don't know that most gi brands are made out of one place in Pakistan too.
Oh, really? The same warehouse?
Mm-hmm. Not a warehouse; it's a manufacturer, and then they all are made in the same.
Oh, I thought
place.
it was a farm.
Like name brand gis,
yeah.
big name brand gis. There's like 10 of them made at the same place.
Yeah.
It's the same.
Just gotta throw a different logo on there.
But I never forced anyone to buy my gi. I'm like, hey, I have a gi. Would you like to buy my gi? Cool. And then they bought my gi. But no one was like, I never said that in my gym you have to, you can own whatever. People have different tastes with gis too. Like,
oh yeah.
You like, if you like Moya, maybe it fits you better or whatever. And you're like, I find the best sizes. You want to wear the gi that fits best. I have no problem with that. I'll never make anyone to
gi
buy
brand called Tall and Lanky.
They had like an octopus logo.
Yes,
right?
they do.
Yeah.
And that's like your body type too.
Kind of.
Which, I always struggled with buying gis. I think my first gi, I trained in my karate gi and jiu-jitsu, and they tore it up back in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Thought they were cheating, just grabbing my lapels and my collars and then ripping my gi. And then I bought a Fuji, which that was like super baggy on me.
Yeah, they're baggy and they're heavy too.
Yeah, because like I don't know, back then, like I guess they just modeled gis off of one body type.
For sure.
Versus nowadays when you're buying gis and it has like the different body types, or I don't know what they're called, ectomorph, or is that a Ghostbuster term?
No, that's a thing. I have like a trainer here that says, actually Tim used to say that I don't know, an ectomorph. I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means, but
well, I have like I don't know, like a body type that's Danny DeVito and like Pikachu. they crossbreeded terribly.
A funny guy and a fighter.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll take it.
I usually wear 8'2", but when I first started jiu-jitsu, the gi brand sizes were different too. Like Tama's was like the big brand, and I had that.
Yeah.
And when I got a Tama, I was like, oh, this is the coolest ever. But I was at A3.
Yeah.
Now A3 is a big dude. Like A3 is like 6'2".
Mm-hmm.
200-ish. A little bit over 200. A4 is like 6'3", or bigger guy, like 280s, 260s, 240s. It's a bigger person.
Did you enjoy your Atama back then?
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
I love the cut of it. And then they had the gold weave, and I love the gold weave or single weave.
Like, did you ever go through a point in the gym where it was a fashion statement for the gis? Like, let's say
myself?
Well, just like with your teammates, maybe like
everyone's competing to have the coolest gi.
Yeah, in order just like to have the hottest gi, it's like, hey, Cobrinha just won Worlds wearing a Kiko Hasa.
Yeah.
It's like, and then next day you show up to class and your Kiko Hasa.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, but you can only wear it once because the sleeves shrink on the first wash.
Yeah, those are terrible gis. I had one of those.
I still got mine.
Not a good. I had a red one. I used to like red.
Oh
gis.
yeah, the red one. Everyone wants that one.
And it just didn't fit right. So.
And then you just lie to yourself. You're like, I love this gi.
Yep.
It's all hindering your movement on the mat.
Yep.
But I look so good in it.
I used to do that because I was so poor. I'm like, I spent $160. I'm wearing this gi, no matter what. And
that's like a standard price now for a gi.
Yeah.
But even gis go for even more now. Yeah. Like what's that one gi company, Isami or Reversal? They just released like a $400 gi. And I was just like, I'm not that good.
Again, I've made my own gi, so I know what they cost. So that's my other thing. I'm like, I'm not paying that. I know what they cost. And they also charge more for colors,
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
blue and black is more expensive than blue.
Really?
Why is that? Why is the dye is not that expensive to dye your gi? It's weird.
I mean, I look at a lot of BJJ products like every day, just scrolling through, like seeing what's going around or anything that catches my eye.
To make memes.
Yeah. And one of the things I've come across, I don't know, is kind of a realization, because I'm like sitting there going through pages of different brands. I'm like, wow, there's so many now. And then I went on the Gracie Baja website to look at their catalog. I was like, this is probably like the most unexciting thing for a Gracie Baja person to be like, oh, I'm going to shop for a new gi. And they only have like 2 choices. It's like Adidas, I think. And then I don't know what the other one is. I think it's like the straight up Gracie Baja brand.
Oh really?
Yeah,
they don't have Kings anymore? Weren't they Kings?
No, I think it's Gracie Baja and Adidas Gracie Baja.
Or Storm. Weren't they Storm?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they're Storm.
No, Storm was like Galveo at the time, and Cobrinha, and was Hodger on there?
I think Storm
Oh,
made their gis.
Ah.
I don't know. It does. I don't even care. But you can go. Would you like? You have two choices: white or blue.
Oh yeah, they don't have black Gracie.
They don't have black.
Oh man, that's sad times.
So like, I think even in competing, I think it's silly that white, blue, or black is it, because I think honestly, I think they should take the belts and then tape your belt so it can't come undone.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember who does that. I think it's Burkert or something. They tape the belt, the knot, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I think they should tape the color, like green.
Oh, the green, yellow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then
it's easier to.
so you can just differentiate no matter what during the match, and the belt won't come done either. So you don't have to worry about people,
Yeah.
taking their time to tie the belt.
But then they gotta spend money on tape, and how
God,
broke
that's-
IBJJF
Yeah, they're
is.
broke. Yeah.
They're broke, and they've probably just made like $1 million this year. That was that first effect this year? Was everyone has to get membership cards to compete?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm having trouble with my black belt certificate.
Oh god.
Kyle gave me Kyle Terra,
Mm-hmm.
what I would assume
12
is pretty,
time
pretty legit.
Yeah, 12 time.
Gave me
champ.
my 3rd degree, and so I messaged him. I like, look, I got my 3rd degree. They're like, okay, but see, there were 3 years. You got your black belt and you paid, but with 3 years you didn't get a card. So we can't honor those, or maybe it's 4 years. I've had a black belt for 10 years now.
Oh god.
I've been a black belt for 10 years, and they're like, yeah, but 4 years you didn't pay. I'm like, how is this legit? Like, you're saying you didn't pay. Like, I have the email. You didn't pay for 4 years, so we can't honor those other.
So you weren't a black belt for those years.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, I stopped being a black belt for a couple years, huh? I didn't know that's how that worked. It's such a money grab bullshit.
Oh yeah, they're bad. I think this was the first year I competed at Pan Am's back in like 2013, I think 2014. I was a purple belt, and I'd registered, and I was on the like the competitor list,
Mm-hmm.
and I was had my team on there, like team Flavio Bearing USA. I was like, cool. As soon as the brackets came out, I went to go look up the brackets, and I typed in my team name. I couldn't find it. I was like, what happened? And I look, and they switched my teams, switched me into Alliance, and I was like, oh, okay. So I emailed them. I was like, hey, can you guys switch me to Flavio Bearing? And of course they respond. They're like, you missed the deadline for team correction. So I started sending them screenshots. I'm like, no, I was like on the right team until you guys made the brackets.
Yeah.
And they responded like, sorry, competitor, good luck. So I got a picture with Cobrinha in the bullpen that year when me and Alliance won Pan Am's.
You totally won a photo, man.
Yeah.
It's a team
It
effort.
was an honorary
It's a team effort.
conspiracy.
So one of the problems also, when I first got it, my black belt, I got under Joe Moreira, and they hated Joe Moreira. Like,
who did IBJJ?
yeah, they wouldn't let him even into the pyramid.
What?
And then they would let him in, but they wouldn't let any of his black belts compete under Joe Moreira because he had his own affiliation. Not
Okay.
affiliation, he had his own governing body.
Oh,
It was like the American, I don't remember, I have it.
What
Oh,
was
it's right
it?
there. United States Federation of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oh, so he was competing
that's
against them?
my first black belt certificate. And he had his own, and he was one of the first people to do tournaments. And the first Pan Ams, he helped Carlos Gracie Jr. set up the Pan Ams. So they had a beef. You know how these are how Brazilians are. They have beef sometimes
with their own blood. Sometimes
with their own blood too. Did you hear the Joe Rogan one with
Jean-Jacques?
Jean-Jacques?
I just listened to that like 3 hours ago. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
So
he was one of my like idols when I first started doing jiu-jitsu.
Uh-huh.
I love Jean-Jacques, and he just seemed like a good guy, and like he was so good on that podcast. But he was talking about his own family suing him. I was like, what?
Yeah, his own blood. They're like, you can't be teaching Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. You better call it Machado.
Yeah,
and it's like, but you're my blood, and I'm representing the Gracie
props
family.
to him though. He made a name under
his
Machado.
own legacy.
Yeah.
That family.
There's a lot of Gracies that use that name, or even Baja guys that you're not. I don't even want to get into that, but they're using the name, like they're Gracie. I'm like,
are you though?
Are you really?
Are you really?
But anyway,
Well, at least the Machados, they got Chuck Norris.
yeah, and that was a cool story
Oh,
too. Like
amazing.
that Chuck Norris gave him the facility
Yeah,
and
gave him the school. He's like,
what a
he's like,
fucking cool guy.
they were
man.
like, we can't afford this. He's like, don't worry, I own this complex. You're good.
Yeah, that
Oh.
was such a good podcast. I was telling someone I was listening to Bernie Sanders podcast,
Mhm.
and I couldn't get through it because he was so like phlegmy or something. Because I was listening to it, not watching. Maybe if I was watching it, I
Yeah.
could have handled it, but I just couldn't get through. It was like,
So-
I'm like, I want to hear what he
Yeah.
wants to say, but like I can't. So I switched over and I listened to
The JJ?
the J. Yeah,
Yeah, Bernie was
Jean-Jacques.
probably sounding like Mumra from Thundercats. that was a TV show in the 80s, by the way.
It's awesome. You know what? I rewatched it. And it was pretty gay, honestly.
Which one, the Bernie or the JJ?
No,
Thundercats.
Thundercats.
Okay.
So let's just break this down for a second.
All right.
He's wearing a baby blue wrestling singlet, but not just a singlet. His
Oh, yeah,
abdomen is cut out.
Exposed.
because his stomach gets hot or whatever.
Yeah, but isn't he like he has the mind of a child,
Yes.
but he's like has the body of an
He-
adult, which
he
doesn't make
He
sense.
didn't explain it. I rewatched it. I'm like, that doesn't make sense.
Because he went to like hypersleep, right?
But nobody else did.
No one else aged.
Yeah.
It's-
And then
yeah.
when he goes thunder, and he holds the sword like this. He goes thunder, thunder, thunder. And it's like, and it goes like this, do, 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 and the sword grows because he had like a
Oh,
tiny
yeah.
sword. And I'm like,
Yeah, it's like a tiny like
This seems
Wakazashi,
like
and then it
somebody's-
gets like huge.
trying to be funny.
This is the little innuendos.
Yeah,
here and there.
and no one caught it. And I was like 5 at the time. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe it's subliminally.
So, that's just they're trying.
That's why you ended up like
Trying
this.
to. This is as explained so much.
Oh man, no, that show is great because I don't know, like I guess they had more PSAs back in cartoons back then. Like what was their
G.I. Joe was the big one.
Yeah, G.I. Joe. But yeah, what kind of politics did they have in Thundercats? Cat inequality.
I don't know.
But there would be the times where he'd be.
It was still awesome. It was still rad, but that was weird. I'm like, what is he wearing, and why is he like that, and why is he doing this?
what was his instructor's name? Jaga. That guy would
the bald
just,
guy, right?
Well, no, the like the spirit.
Oh,
that
the
would,
spirit guy. Yeah.
He would just like
The robe.
randomly appear like Lion-O, lefty loosey, righty tighty. And he's like, oh yeah. He opens up the can.
Now I remember.
And just like, what? Wait, is he dead or not? I don't know. Star Wars ripoff, Jedi.
I wish I had a Elio would whisper in my ear back from the grave. Mike, quit being a punk. Escape mount.
You're not bridging right.
It's all in the hips. It's all
That-
in the hips.
That's like my first my first few months of jiu-jitsu because I came from wrestling.
Me too.
Yeah, so I wrestled in high school and then I didn't do anything for like a year and a half and I found jiu-jitsu and
Me too.
people would mount me and I literally have like I would just call it PTSD from my coaches just screaming at me, bridge.
Yeah.
So I get someone mounts me and I like bridge over and give them my back, which is not what you're supposed to do.
Oh, for sure.
In wrestling, you do that.
Yeah.
You don't want to give up back points.
I did that.
Or near fall points, I should call
a
them.
lot. I did that a lot.
It only takes like 1,000 chokes from the back until you finally are like, I'm gonna
For
stop
some of
giving
us.
up my. Well, I'm still learning.
Me too. Rolling away, off of takedowns too.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
You roll away, because you don't want your back exposed.
Yeah.
And then in jiu-jitsu, they just jump on your back and choke you.
Mm-hmm. Anytime, if they can just glance at your back, like if you show them the back, that back's taken. It's, I guess we can get on the topic of takedowns now. That's I feel like in wrestling, like people will let their ACLs tear to not get taken down.
Yeah, but you can kind of slip out of a single leg, I think, in wrestling easier than in jiu-jitsu. You could just turn your...
Because the friction?
Yeah, because there's friction. And I actually was watching a video, and John Donaher was talking about how you could hold the shoe, too, and I never thought about that. Where
it's like an extra grip.
The shoe,
Yeah.
and then shooting also. I knew that from the beginning of wrestling, jiu-jitsu, because you would shoot and you'd burn the top of your feet, when you first started jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
But you would slide in wrestling, no problem. You're doing shots on the mat or hero's walk or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But you can also push off. So I had the cool ASIC shoes,
Yep,
and the
me
split
too.
sole, and man, you can shoot so much faster with wrestling shoes on than, and I don't know how many times I've slipped too, just sweaty, or like, you know, you're rolling in a class and there's like a sweat pile here, and then I step in that, whoop, and I go. That never happens in wrestling shoes. The shoes
so much grip,
non-slip.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like I've done judo too. I don't like to shoot a lot. I don't like changing. I have trouble changing levels. Yeah, because you were saying that I'm really tall and lanky, but I have really tiny legs actually. So I have this long torso that makes me like an average height, like 6 foot, but my legs are tiny. So like when I do squats, I feel like off balance and wobbly, or like I have to bend my back, which, you know, in wrestling, that's a terrible. You should have your back straight, just like you're doing a deadlift or like a squat. Back should be straight, changing levels, shooting in. But I just have trouble with it, so I never shot. Even in wrestling, I would do like throws, way more throws, upper body throws, tie-ups.
Yeah,
I like to tie up more, or counter. I could
wrestling,
sprawl wrestle, and I would cow catch and spin to the back and all that kind of stuff. So my jiu-jitsu is similar to that too. Like,
did you wrestle in Arizona?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you're the only other person I hear call it a cow catcher. And like,
yeah, I don't know, like chin control. You know,
well,
whatever you want to call it.
People call it gunslinging. I don't know. That's the cool, funny thing about wrestling and jiu-jitsu is like
the names
the names are really different, but it's the same damn move.
When I did judo, I went off of like a little thing when I was a brown belt. I decided I wanted to take judo separately, so I went to a separate school judo club in Glendale, and these guys, and it was eye-opening because they only spoke Japanese.
Wow.
They didn't speak any English, and they got pissed if you spoke English. And then,
did you learn a lot of Japanese?
No. I'm terrible. I did. I didn't actually. You would think.
Yeah.
I had a lot of trouble with the names in Japanese. You know, it's probably just my learning disabilities or whatever. But I had a lot of trouble with it, and but I did like in judo that everything had a specific name, and it sounded way cooler in Japanese. But it's always like outer leg reap.
Oh, Sotogari.
Yeah, Sotogari sounds way cooler.
Like, wow, what's that one? All the judo people are gonna get mad. It means like valley drop. Is that like
drop Seinagi?
No.
Valley drop. Yeah, I
like
do drop.
Tanitoshi or Taiotoshi?
No, Taiotoshi is just when you turn your back, your leg goes straight, and you twist.
What about that illegal one, Kani Basami?
What was that?
The leg scissor?
Leg scissors.
Oh, yeah.
So that was fun to train with those guys, but I did respect judo that like everything has a specific name and it's never changed, and that you could go anywhere and speak Japanese, the judo in Japanese, and everyone understands.
Yeah.
You can go to Africa, you can go to Australia, you can go to Japan. We're all speaking the same thing. That's not in jiu-jitsu. Definitely not in wrestling. You know, wrestling, the same thing. And in wrestling, they all have crazy names. You know, like
they'll even name it after like a wrestler that uses it.
Yeah, or ball and chain. You know, like just crazy names.
Peterson roll.
Peterson roll. Yeah.
Okay.
And jiu-jitsu kind of similar to that too, but people will call things multiple names. And then you have 10th Planet, which they just smoke bongs and then name everything.
The jiu-jitsu, does it seem like there's a DVD for a new guard like every day? I'll be scrolling through
there's
and
so much bullshit, man.
But it's
honestly, like
it's like a half guard, but just like the grips are like 2 inches lower, and I'm like, oh, okay, you got a whole new DVD.
Yeah, just making money, you know.
We should start doing that.
Yeah, okay,
let's do it.
Sure. I invented a guard.
What's it called?
I called it le douche.
Le douche.
Because if I pulled it off, you look like a douche. And
him or you?
No, if you pull off the sweep off of it.
Oh.
I'll show you it. But I showed it to Kaya once, and he didn't make fun of me and yell at me.
Oh.
So I assume that some kind of validity to it. I don't know. The grips are difficult. I found it's kind of like a reverse spider guard. I would call it similar.
Like your face down?
No. Instead of like circling this leg, you circle the opposite leg.
Oh, okay. So
and then this leg comes in after that, and then you invert, almost like a omoplata. But you pull the arm ends up behind their back, and then you take the back and pull them in. There's a couple things. I have like 4 moves off of it, but I've never pulled it off. I've never pulled it off in a tournament.
No.
And I've never won anything big. So really the way to sell anything in jiu-jitsu is you have to win a PANS or Worlds. Otherwise, like I won't like buy your DVD.
Yeah,
You know what
it's,
I mean?
it's
Like,
true.
because, and it's not that people don't know jiu-jitsu that haven't won that, you know, but
Gotta have those credentials.
you gotta respect the guy that's done it at the highest level.
Yeah.
Because you know that the move works.
Yeah.
If you've done it at the highest level. Or like I see these guys. Have you ever seen that guy, jiu-jitsu over 40 guy with a man bun?
Oh yeah.
You know?
He's my favorite.
He does some ridiculous shit, but nobody's ever resisting. He doesn't show it
a
ever.
lot of neck cranks.
I've never seen him do anything live with any of it. You know, like you couldn't make up shit. It's like katas. You know, like kata works if nobody's resisting and nobody's.
Yeah.
You know, like I always respect the guys that have done it in a tournament, even if it's a low-level tournament, not even at like the Pan Ams. But if you could show me footage of you pulling this off, okay, cool. I'll attempt this, you know, and see if it works. I've noticed more in jiu-jitsu now how many things are like more athletic. It's becoming more athletic, and certain moves you cannot pull off unless you're in your 20s, and in good and then ridiculous shape.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm teaching someone that's in their 40s or 50s, they're not going to invert, man. And if they're over 200 pounds, they shouldn't invert. It's too dangerous, you know, on the neck. Even if you're not supposed to be on your neck when you invert, you can create a movement. Your partner creates a movement, forces you on your neck. You know, like inverting correctly is not on your neck. It's over the shoulders.
Yeah.
But if your partner pushes you, stack you on your neck, you're hurt. And now you're like 50-40 with a neck problem, you know, like doesn't make sense.
What did JJ Machado say in that podcast?
Oh yeah, he's don't trust your neck.
Don't trust your neck.
Don't trust your neck. This is a great advice,
man. That was
man.
amazing.
It's a great advice, and he meant it on multiple levels. Cause he was talking about like
chokes.
Don't trust yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, I can hold it a little longer. You know, I don't know if you've ever done that. We're like,
oh yeah, happened to me in a tournament. Collar choke, and I was like, I opened the guy's guard, and I was like, yeah, you're good. Just pass the guard, and you're good. And then all of a sudden, referee's holding my legs up, and I'm like, oh no.
Well, at least you didn't pee yourself on camera. Oh no.
When I get famous, they're gonna post that
video.
video.
They're gonna pull that out.
TMZ is gonna post
it. You can
get
away with anything if you're famous now. We have a president that said crazy stuff. I'm not even gonna be political, but like,
that's pretty political.
Remember when like you couldn't, you know, all these presidents were like worried about smoking marijuana.
Yeah.
Like Bill Clinton, I think was the first one who's like, I didn't inhale. And then Bush they said he did cocaine, but they're like, well, that was my party days and I'm born again Christian. But Trump said some crazy shit, paying off porn stars. 30 years ago, that's not even possible. And I'm not even talking about like, you know, if it's right or wrong. I'm just saying things that you would think you might come back to haunt you, like, doesn't even seem to matter anymore. Because, again, you could become the president and do crazy stuff and still seems to be okay.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I guess that's true with fame, though.
You know what I was going to ask you?
Yes.
There's, I don't know if he's a meme or whatever on Instagram, but steroid BJJ.
Oh, BJJ steroids.
Did you see?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I know the page existed for a bit before the whole fiasco at Worlds.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know, is this Instagram page that started this pretty much movement against what would it be considered, drug abuse? Well,
steroids.
Performance enhancing drugs in competition.
And there's a whole giant list of performance enhancing.
Yeah.
And it's super prevalent in jiu-jitsu.
Oh, definitely.
You know,
I remember when Kyle Otera, I think he had just won Worlds, and then Budo Videos interviewed him, and like right on the spot.
He went off,
and he was like, "No, we need to start testing for steroids and IBJJF." And then I remember all these like media pages were like, "Oh, Kyle Otera makes controversial statement." I was like, "Why is it controversial?"
Why is it controversial? like every sport says you shouldn't be cheating.
I mean,
and Mendez brothers got caught with it, and you would look at them and go, "Oh, you know, they're like big guys, but it's the recovery, you know."
Yeah, definitely.
People don't understand like
Meow brothers too. They're not big guys.
No, not Mendez brothers. I meant Meow brothers.
Yeah. But Mendez brothers, they mysteriously retired after they start testing.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Like I understand why these guys do it. It's their career.
Oh, definitely.
But like, it's not fair to people that are being clean and doing it the honest way, you know. And like, you know, I've talked to Kyle about it too. But people think steroids is making them stronger, and it does. But it's not that. It's recovery. Like your ability to train 3-4 times a day, 2-hour sessions. You know, when I was younger, I would do 2, sometimes 3 a day.
Yeah.
But I wasn't even training with guys at that caliber.
Right.
You know? You go to Kyle's school and they're training 3 times a day.
Professional competitors.
And they're all like professional athletes. So like maybe, you know, when I was training earlier, when I was younger, I could go with a blue belt and a white belt as a resting round, you know. Those guys aren't every single guy. You know, they'll have competition training where there's like 20 black belts. You know, many of them have won Pan Am, you know, Pan Ams and things like that. There's no easy rounds, you know, and you're going to do that multiple times a day, and they're playing 2-hour sessions or an hour and a half sessions. Your body just breaks down. And then do that every day. Kyle trains 7 days a week. 7 days. Not even like I take 1 day off a week. 7 days a week, and you know he won't always train 3 times a day, but still, man, that's a lot, you know.
Yeah, no,
basically,
definitely.
I don't blame him. Like, he's like, man, I'm putting my body through this, and you guys get to just wake up fresh as a daisy every day, you know, like, oh, I feel awesome.
Right.
And then those guys will start lifting too. You know, they're lifting
when they're off the mat. They're lifting, and it's like, how are you doing this? Like 7 days a week.
How do you do that? You know, and people that don't do jiu-jitsu don't understand like how hard a jiu-jitsu training is, you know, at a higher level, you know, not a fundamentals class, but like a competition training. I mean, it's brutal.
No, definitely.
You can burn 1,000 calories according to Wikipedia. You can burn 1,000 calories a class, you know, that's a crazy amount of calories. And then these guys are cutting weight too. You know, how are you doing this?
Definitely. It's
clean. So anyway, the first thing was like this guy's page. I saw it out of nowhere. I'm like, what is this? And then it showed the footage of like the Atos guys coming over and like try to take his phone or whatever.
Oh, it's so sad. It's like this. I think the guy, he was on his. So what happened was the BJJ steroids page like got on Instagram Live where they were like heckling the Atos guys, talking trash.
I didn't know. Is that what?
Oh yeah, they were like, you know, in the DMs of Galveo, putting them on Instagram Live, making fun of them, calling them out for steroid abuse. And then the Atos guys, I think there was a point in the tournament where all the Atos guys just start searching through the stadium, like
try to find the guy.
Yeah, so then this poor guy from Sweden's just like on his phone.
Oh, it's Swedish.
I think so. He's from out of the country, and like literally, can you imagine just like doing your thing, and then you look up and see like your BJJ heroes walking towards you, like Galveo and what's his name, Lucas Barbosa, like cool.
Barbosa's
and then they just come up and just like confront this guy, and he's like, what happened? What's going on?
You know, Galvao is not a tall guy, but he's wide as he's what I call block people, like a lot of wrestlers, you know.
Block people?
Yeah, they're a block. They're like as tall as they are wide, you know. They're just guns. Like a ball person would be that's kind of overweight. Black, that's just chiseled, wide, not very tall. You know, everything the portion. Like, I'm 5'8" by 5'8".
Yeah, like
he's an intimidating dude. I've met him. He seems very friendly, but if he came up at me and I'm looking up, sitting in my chair, I can't even.
Oh, definitely.
Can't even imagine. I'd be crapping myself.
Yeah, but with the BJJ steroids movement, they have a hashtag called the Natty movement or Natty Soldiers. Seems like they're pushing a lot of something happened off camera.
Someone came in and screwed up my shot.
It was they're wearing an Atos shirt, so I guess
no.
we'll go to
They're looking for
conversation.
Trash.
That was fast.
They hear everything.
They hear everything.
So I don't know. Like my thing was, I get like anti-steroids, but you are talking trash and you are doing like internet muscles, but your internet muscles while you're near the guy that's you're talking trash about, you know, like I don't know what the right balance is there. Like
right. Yeah, I don't know either. Like
you not expect him to like get upset, you know?
All I know is that
is he telling the truth? Possibly, because Galvao's not competing anymore either.
He'll be at ADCC next month, I think, for a super
They
fight.
don't
But
test.
they don't test.
I meant IBJJF.
My bad. I don't know. Like, yeah, he probably doesn't need to do IBJJF anymore. He's won so many.
He's won everything,
Like,
you know?
He's been like Pan Am champ,
Mm-hmm.
world champ,
Well, I think he's
open champ as well.
Yeah, he's open champ too.
Wow.
I think.
I don't know. There has to be a right balance. I know that created such a big stir in the jiu-jitsu community because people love drama.
This is true.
People love drama, so
I don't, but many
no, but people
feed
eat it up.
on it. Yeah.
And you do, you do. I mean, you say you don't, but imagine watching a movie where, I don't know, it's a guy and a girl get
nothing
together
happens.
and then they get married.
I don't like it in my life, though. I don't like
Oh, yeah,
drama
okay.
in my life. I will watch it
Yeah.
written, but I don't even, like I don't watch TMZ. You know what I mean? Like I don't care about other people's. That's even fake. I mean, that's all made up too. But I don't know. I was just curious what you thought about his Instagram page. It's not quite memeing, but it's whatever. I don't even know what that genre you would call that is, and I'm not sure what his end goal with it all is, other than building. I think my problem is it doesn't seem as much about like getting rid of steroids or performance enhancing drugs as it is about making a name for himself. Like, are you just trying to build your own following versus, or do you really believe in this thing? Because I think I can respect you more if you believe in this anti-doping versus, I think you're really just trying to build up.
They built it pretty fast.
Yeah.
Really.
I mean,
when
they attack you and you get it on camera, that probably helps out. And then hashtag Gaval and Atos and all that. I mean, then now you're attaching names to your thing,
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. So, what else? Do you have anything else going on? You do videos too.
Yeah, I do.
And they're pretty hilarious.
They come out
and
very rare videos.
They're really well shot. Like, now that I'm getting into cameras and I'm trying to figure out, it started this podcast, but I'm also just trying to figure out how to do camera angles and lighting, all this. Like, I'm super impressed with your videos.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you can make cheesy videos that are funny, but not great production value. Like, your production value is good, and you're not spending $1 bajillion on this either, right? I mean,
sometimes.
I mean, the cameras are probably expensive, and then the software.
Oh, yeah, the software, but I think it's a important investment if you're trying to create good content.
Good content, yeah.
That's another thing too. If your content's good, you can have like a flip phone camera and film it, and it'll be good. Good example. I released a video a couple weeks ago of me demonstrating defense against guard pullers. Did you see that one? It was me and
you
my
walked
coach.
him out of the gym. Yeah, I saw. Yeah. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, see, now I was just filming my phone.
Yeah.
That took like maybe 30 seconds.
Yeah. The premise is good and the execution is good. It's not as good. But if I see something with high quality, I still like it.
Definitely.
Watching movies, I love movies, and the high quality, the way that they shoot it, the way the angles that they use, the lighting. All of that tells the story, and I think it's, I appreciate that kind of stuff. You were showing me like the things that you did with the last video you made of like zooming out and how you did it and stuff, and you're just explaining like the music and the sound effects and music that you put in and why it's important.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking about those. I just said aesthetically, this is amusing, and we were also kind of talking about like people's attention span is so short, right?
Yeah.
So like you got to keep people's attention span, so I totally get it. And when we turn this off, I'm going to steal all your secrets.
That's fine.
And learn how
so much I can teach you
how to do it.
With that last video I made, it was BJJ's sleep paralysis. I tried to get it as close to a horror movie. When I say horror movie, I mean like a scary movie.
Yeah, it looked like The Ring to me.
Yeah.
The lady with the hair. That was the other thing, because you told me that it was you in the shot.
Yeah.
I was wondering, wonder who, if you use John, because you're his instructor's from Fluid.
Yeah.
John, and he's in a lot of the videos too, and he does a great job too. So I was like, I wonder if that's John. I didn't realize you were in your own shot.
Yeah.
Everything in the shot was you.
Yeah.
This is good.
Yeah, I just filmed it in my house, in my bedroom. But Yeah, I tried to really set a tone in that video just to, I guess, submerge the viewer, with the shots, the color correction, or the color of the video I use. So it's like dark.
Yeah.
Painting the mood pretty much, and then just using a lot of sound and music, because I'm a musician, obviously, but I think
not obviously, but you are.
Obviously.
Obviously, by his hair,
my hair.
He's a musician. Flock of Seagulls is his favorite band, and this is why he shreds on the guitar.
Yes. Where's that guitar at? I'm gonna play that
lefty.
one later. I'll play lefty. I'm fine with that.
That good?
No, I'll try. But with music, I feel music has it's this weird phenomenon. Like I consider it one of the senses of the body.
No, for sure.
Because we'll go back to movies again. Like if you're watching a movie trailer, and there's like, I don't know, disappointing music, or if it's happy music, it's gonna be a comedy or like a romantic comedy, and you're like,
sets the mood.
But if you're like watching, I don't know, we'll just make up a Christopher Nolan movie trailer where it's like, wait, he's not supposed to be here, and you're like, oh, I don't even know what this movie's about, but
it's intense.
I'm hyped.
Yeah. I think it sets music can set the emotion of it. And I actually was reading this dude, some Christian whatever, but they were talking about these guys that they're worship leaders.
Okay.
Which is basically short for I'm the guy that plays guitar and we all sing, right?
Yeah.
But he was talking about that the worship leader is just setting emotional response versus like the preacher gives a message.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think people are getting confused with like the lyrics in the songs that we sing, and I don't see it as that as much. I want to set the emotional response to this, and musicians set emotional responses.
Yeah.
And you set this kind of scary sound in the video that you made, and that makes it would make sense if it was like
just quiet and just me staring at the camera versus me staring at the camera and there's like a high shrieking pitch noise.
Yeah, if it was like wah, wah, I'm like that doesn't fit here,
That's actually the sound effect when I try to sweep someone and it doesn't work. Wah, wah. Like, oh man. But music definitely sets the emotion. Like if we take the film Jaws, you've seen Jaws?
Oh yeah.
If you take that music out and it's literally just a camera panning across the water, not scary, but all of a sudden you start putting that orchestra in, it's like dun 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 dun, and it's still a camera panning across the water, not even a shark shown, but you're scared. You're like, your heart's racing, you're like, oh crap, like it's going down, that shark's coming.
What was I gonna say? Well, let's close it down because they're being noisy and I have to go choke my instructor out in the other room.
The Atos guy that came in?
Yeah, he's being obnoxious. I shoot this in my office, which is attached to my gym.
Yeah.
And I should have told him, hey, where I'm doing a podcast. So anyway, I'm very professional.
Yes.
In my second one I've ever filmed. So.
Yes.
Anyway, Tony, is there anything you want to promote, or when are you going to get your black belt, by the way? Should I talk to John? Or is it Flavio? Or who's Flavio, right?
One of those guys. Well,
he's old. He's like old school.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to like do the self-defense test
stuff,
and then do a presentation, do a community.
How many years do you
project.
have in now?
For jiu-jitsu?
Like
in January, it's gonna be 11.
Fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Black belt.
No, that's fine. I know some guys that got it in like 6 years.
Don't be modest.
20 years.
You're a black belt.
Don't say that. No, I got so much to go. I'm injured right now, but once I get back to 100%.
Here's the thing. Black belt is not... I've learned more at black belt than any belt.
That's what they say, though.
And I've been a black belt for... That's the other thing. I've been a black belt longer than it took me to get a black belt.
How long did it take you to get your black belt?
8.5 years.
That's a long time, though.
I trained...
I mean, that's like the
for 8.5 years,
time.
though, I trained every day, multiple times a day. Besides... I take that, not Sundays. But I trained every day, multiple times a day, and I was doing private lessons, and I was balls deep in jiu-jitsu at the time. Now my body, I don't physically feel like I can handle it unless I take special vitamins.
Acai.
TRT because my testosterone's low.
Masters Worlds next week.
Masters World, yeah. No, but I don't think I can train like that anymore. But it helped me for sure. Like, I feel like I was at that level. So anyway, we have to close it down. There's being so loud out there. I have to go kill him.
I'm gonna choke him.
So anyway, anything you want to promote?
Promote Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. If you don't train, go try it out at least. Go do some chokes. Go get choked.
Yeah, train with him. He teaches sometimes too.
Yeah, sometimes.
So
I charge about $1,500 an hour.
That's cheap, man. You should know your value, man. Know your value. Happy Rolling.
Happy Rolling.
And then YouTube, is it called the same thing?
Happy Rolling BJJ.
On YouTube, subscribe, man. They're hilarious. They're only 2 minutes. If you don't have the attention span for 2 minutes, go shoot yourself in the face.
Oh, jeez.
That's a little harsh.
That should be a T-shirt.
Maybe stab yourself in the face. All right. On that note, peace. I don't have an ending, so.
Oh, I thought we slap bumped the camera.
Yeah. We'll do jiu-jitsu. We'll just start fighting.
Let me talk for just a second, help me feel that sense of rhythm. Find the meanings in our bearings and discover this position as a stage along the way. Another rung to the ladder, either stalling or you're climbing, and I'd rather beat the ladder.